Sure.
Welcome to your daily dose of dopamine. My name is Robert. I am here with my good friend Paul, a fellow dollar baby filmmaker who I had the pleasure of meeting at the Las Vegas King Con, the first ever Stephen King convention in late October. Paul, first of all, how are you post convention? How you doing?
I am exhausted. I don't
Yeah,
know how you're feeling, but I had to change. I had to go through three time zones and I flew a red eye overnight and I am just tired, but I'm
yeah.
great.
So, I mean, tired from that certainly, but it's also worth noting that you're the guy who made it happen for all us dollar baby filmmakers. So, first of all, that,
Thank you. Thank
and
you.
let's back it up because the King Con. When did you first hear about it, and then what was your role in getting dollar babies involved in the festival?
Okay, so I guess about maybe a year ago or so, I came across a post about it. And at that point, it was like in its infancy. And I just reached out and said, hey, I'd love to play my film here if at all possible, or do something to be involved. And after a short amount of time, a month or so, someone got back to me with more information in the immediate. It was like, oh, yeah, sure, we'll get back to you. And basically, they said, hey, we want something to happen here. We just don't know exactly what yet, and we're going to figure it out. So over the course of the last year, that's what we've been doing, and it evolved a lot. At first there was just going to be a panel, and then it was going to be maybe there'd be two panels, and then it was like, well, let's see if we could play some films, and there was a whole jumping through the hoops with the lawyers and things to get contracts worked out and all this stuff. It was a lot going on. And thankfully, I didn't have to do a lot of that legwork on my own because there's a whole team of people, including lawyers, that they have. So, eventually we came to where what we had this past weekend at KingCon, played $25 baby films, had a fantastic time being there with my other dollar baby filmmakers, including you, of course. And we just, made the best out of it. And it was fantastic, a great event.
So, yeah, one of the things I heard, this was the nine originals, whatever they're going to be some nickname for them. The folks who put this together, the blue shirts. Uh,
Yeah, there you go. The blue shirts.
yeah, they didn't know what they had when they started, right? They were various King fans from various walks of life, and it was like an idea. And as I remember it, the lead, I always forget, is his name Mike?
Chris.
Chris. Okay, the
Yeah.
lead, Chris, said something to the effect of the first day they put it up, they got like 400 registrations.
Yeah. It's wild. What I was told was that early on in the beginning, see, most of these people are like book collectors. So they collect these limited editions. Yeah. So they collect these limited and they didn't really know what was going to happen. They just said, hey, we've got this Facebook page of people that do these transactions and work with each other to find these limited books and et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, we want to meet. So let's put together our own little King Con, quote unquote, right? And let's just hang out in Vegas and we'll have a little party and maybe there'll be 50 of us there or something. And yeah, 400 came and it just kind of blew their mind and they were like, we've got to actually do something with this. Let's talk this out because we've got a lot of people that want to show up. So
Yeah, and so the story goes that I heard anyway, fill us in as you wish, that they met every Sunday for the next year leading into this to work the details. This is on top of busy regular lives, and they made it very clear this was not a moneymaker for them. They wanted to to would mess things up in various ways. So it was going to be of, by, and for the fans, as it were. Chris had that incredible, somewhat chance meeting with King at the screening of Life of Chuck at Toronto Film Festival.
yeah,
Uh,
that's cool.
yeah, right. So there was that leading into this. But I think even, it's the same thing. I flew out there not knowing exactly what was going to happen. I mean, you reached out to me, and I get, like a lot of us do, I get reached out to by various people doing all kinds of dollar baby stuff. And I'm
Right.
happy to. My film's a lot older than a lot of people's.
It's a
I'm
great film too.
happy. Thank you. Um,
Yeah.
but, I don't attach too much to it. The fact this was in Las Vegas interested me. I had that. And then you get there, and what was your immediate feeling when you show up and you're like, oh, wait a minute? Because it was bigger, I think, than all of us expected.
Yeah, it was legit. It was definitely, well, I personally had a little bit more inside knowledge, but I wasn't part of the people who were meeting every week. I more or less what I usually say to anybody who asks is I was just a liaison. I'm just providing a bridge between the Dollar Baby filmmakers and the King Con committee, right? So I was pretty surprised too, even though I had some inside information. I had just literally maybe 48 hours before I had seen the signage and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is going to be pretty legit. And I
Oh,
was like, all right, they're needing a lot of stuff, and they had some big names. And as they were announcing these, I was like, all right, we're getting bigger and bigger, and it just was, I would say, extremely impressive for a first year convention. Like it didn't feel like the inaugural event to anything, you know. It was
I
very
want to
well organized.
Yeah, I want to pick this up because there's more to pick apart with this. Clearly, we will get to talking about your film as well, but we're going to come back for a second episode, part two of the King Con convention, because the behind the scenes stuff is fun. So, see you in a minute.